energy flows where attention goes. So if you're putting the attention on the bad, if you're putting the attention on the worst case scenario right now, as a collective, if that's what we're doing, that's what we're going to manifest and that's what we're going to attract. Whereas if we collectively decide, okay, we're aware that this isn't right, this is not what we want, this doesn't work, that's when we can then put our energy and our attention over towards what we do want, what does align with us, what is going to work, what we want the future to look like. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Haley and I help people recognize their full potential by exploring all aspects of the mind-body connection. So before we dive into today, I want to share with you all my new little setup. This actually used to be my podcast setup. If you've been following me for a while, I used to film my podcasts here. I've recently transitioned those to audio only. So this is probably going to be my new setup now for these sit-down style videos. So if you like this ambiance, this vibe, leave me a little thumbs up in the description below. Today I wanted to sit down and share with you all some of the tips that I have, things that I've done in my experience that have helped me stay grounded through this pandemic, through the craziness and the chaos that's going on in the world right now. So if you're interested in learning some of those, then go ahead and stay tuned. This has been a crazy time that we've had. I'm sure you can all agree with that. 2020 was a crazy year. And it looks like 2021 is going to be even crazier maybe, or probably just as crazy as 2020 was. But fear not, I want you to understand before we even dive into anything that I'm about to share in this video, that fear is not the answer, all right? Think about fear itself. Fear is something that so strongly spiritually resonates at such a low vibration. It really eats away at us because fear is so connected to stress, to anger, to guilt and resentment and all of these really, really negative emotions. And what happens is when we're feeling those so strongly, we start to embody that on a cellular level. So if you've read anything about Dr. Joe Dispenza or, supernatural healing, whatever it might be, our emotions can literally change us again on that cellular level. So when you're constantly living in that state of fear, in that state of heavy, heavy stress, you're literally deteriorating your body. Not only are you weakening your immune system, you're totally shutting down a lot of the vital systems in your body. It can even lead to elevated heart rate, elevated blood pressure, etc., etc. It literally will manifest. However it is that you're feeling vibrationally and emotionally will manifest in your body. We are this system, right? We are this interconnected system of thoughts and feelings and energy and vibration. And so I think that's the first thing I want to just make very clear before getting into some of my tips here. Really need to focus on becoming aware of the fear in your life and then figuring out, once you have that awareness, of how to mitigate it, how to become less reactionary, how to remain in control, how to remain the master of your own little ship that you're on, and that ship being this earthly vessel that we've been given in this life. So these are going to be some more kind of, esoteric, spiritual things that you can do to help you stay grounded throughout this experience that we've had over the last year. So like I said, fear is certainly the enemy. My first tip of advice, again, that awareness. Awareness is the first step to everything. So think about this for a second. Once you're aware of that fear, then you can learn how to slowly start to manage that, how to stay in control. And things that have helped me become a lot less reactionary are really what I'm going to be focusing on sharing with you today, because I know the current climate that we're in right now is crazy. There's something new going on every day. I understand that. I'm aware of that, but I'm very intentional of where I choose to direct my energy. And so I encourage you to do the same thing. First thing that has helped me stay a lot less reactionary during this entire crazy time that we've had is meditating. And that would be my first advice to anybody watching this video. Meditating is so simple. I know some people think it's kind of crazy, but I want to demystify it. It's literally just connecting with your body and connecting with your breathing for as little as 5 minutes a day. It's totally life-changing though. I want to make that clear. Meditation has been probably one of the biggest things I think that's changed my life. Since I had my spiritual awakening back in 2019, I've meditated almost every single day, with the exception of a few rare instances. But it so freaking works. Like, let me tell you, if you're someone who's anxious, who your mind, you feel like your mind is just racing a million miles a minute every single day. That's totally how I used to be. I was a super anxious person, but meditating is probably one of the best ways that you can counteract that. I think the easiest way to understand it is that it's literally just observing. It's taking that time of your day to just sit, to be still, and to observe. And it's through that observation and it's through that awareness that you can find a sense of stillness and sort of come back to the here and the now. Something that's really helped me in my meditation practice is, someone had said this to me, that meditating is becoming aware of your thoughts and recognizing that you are not your thoughts. Think about how powerful that is for a second. Taking that step back and recognizing that you aren't them. It's okay, let them come up, let them go through, and just observe them and watch them as they fall away too. Huge part of meditation is also becoming more present, becoming more connected to the here and the now. And I think that's a huge thing that's helped me stay grounded throughout everything that's been going on, is really trying my best to fully live in the present moment. And I know that that's not easy. I understand that it's not an easy thing to do, but the more that you're present, the more that you're hyper aware and focused on what you're experiencing in the here and the now, the more that you're going to be able to stay in control and be a little bit less reactionary. There's a really great little thing that you can do for that. If you are feeling like there's a lot of pressure coming in around you and you want to bring yourself back to the here and the now, think about your 5 senses. Think about something in your space right now. You can do this as you're watching along with this. What's one thing that you can see, other than this video, of course? What's one thing that you can see around you? What's one thing that you can hear? One thing that you can smell, that you can touch, that you can taste even. Connect yourself to your 5 senses. Root yourself in this moment again. Bring yourself back to the here and the now. Bring yourself back to your body. That is one of the biggest ways that you can stay in control, and you can make sure that you're not going to be trailing off on a crazy tangent of worry, of fear and anxiety and all these crazy things. Because when you think about it, anxiety is when we're really worried about the future, or we're so heavily dwelling on the past. I think that's kind of like the root of it. At least it was for me. It was like replaying things over in my head, wondering all of these worst case scenario what ifs. When you take that out of the equation, when you take the future and the past out of the equation, all you're left with is here and now. That's where you can really bring your power back. That stillness, that sense of full embodied presence. That's one of the hugest ways that you can stay grounded through any of the craziness, any of the chaos that goes on around you. So keep that in mind. Second tip that I would have, try to find ways to reflect on how you're feeling, whether that's talking with somebody, calling a friend, whatever it might be. For me, it's journaling. I don't have my journal with me right now, but journaling has been hugely transformative for me. I reflect all the time in my journal. Every single morning now, I wake up and I allow myself about 15 minutes or so to journal and to just like see where I'm at, to just assess where I'm at. And I can look back on the days and see how I was feeling and see how I'm doing. If you're interested in seeing my morning routine, I have a very special, spiritual morning routine that I've followed now that has transformed me from a total night owl. I used to hate mornings, used to want to sleep in every single day, to literally my morning being honestly my favorite part of my day. If you're interested in seeing that, please go ahead and leave a thumbs up on the video and drop me a comment below. I'd be more than happy to share that with you. But journaling is huge. Check in with yourself. Again, I think self-awareness is really such a powerful tool, right, for all of this stuff. Is like when you're self-aware, then you know what needs to happen next. If you're self-aware that, okay, I have been super anxious today, or I'm dwelling on this past event, or I'm thinking so much about this horrible worst case scenario what if, I'm just going crazy in my mind. That's okay. Again, you are not your thoughts, so become aware of that. And that leads me into my next thing, is if you find yourself in a place where you're really anxious, you feel kind of just this like overwhelming energy and this overwhelming sense of you just need to like release it. At least that's how it usually feels for me. When I'm anxious, I feel like I need to just get it out of my body. And rightfully so, because when we are anxious, any emotion like that, we really just need to release it, whether it's good or bad. We need to release the emotions, we need to express them. And one of my favorite ways to do that is to move my body. Literally, move your body. I don't care what it is. You can go for like a 10-minute walk, go outside. Unplug as you're doing this. That's another huge suggestion that I have. Shut your phone off. Like, take some time to just take a step away from the news, the media. Let me tell you right now that that's probably one of the easiest ways to lower your vibration and to make sure that you're going to stay in a state of fear is if you keep consuming mainstream media. I'm telling you, don't do that. That is like really a big no-no. It is in my mind. And I know that might upset some people, but I'm just here to tell you that that is not the answer. If you're sitting in your house all day and, watching the news 24/7, you're probably not going to be feeling the best mentally. So take some time, take a break from that. Find the space in your day to just take even like 10 to 15 minutes to unplug. If you go for your walk, put your phone on do not disturb, keep it in your pocket, like literally unplug. It doesn't have to be walking. You could go to the gym, you could work out, you can dance, whatever it is to just energetically release from your body, that you're not storing it in your body, that you're not allowing those low vibrational emotions to really become a part of like your cellular being. Release that, move it, allow it to move through you. That's a huge thing that's helped me. So again, you can go for a walk, you can go to the gym, you can dance. Like I even sometimes dance at night if I'm feeling good or if I'm feeling bad. I will literally just dance in my house. I don't care, you know, nobody's watching, whatever. It just feels good. So think about these little things that you can do in your day to kind of stay grounded. Speaking of grounding, literally the definition of the word grounding, find time to connect with nature. I can't tell you how important this is, especially now with the craziness that's going on. We're bombarded left and right with social media, with news, with this, with that, with everything, you know, from all of these angles. Just take a moment to unplug and connect with nature. I know it's harder for some of us that are in a colder climate right now. Go stick your feet in the dirt. I'm not kidding you. Stick your feet in the dirt, stick your feet in the sand, the grass, go walk within the trees, walk outside, breathe in fresh air, let Mother Nature heal you. I'm telling you that grounding is something that's really powerful. And if you just take a few moments out of your day, again, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy, 5 to 10 minutes, spend some time in nature, allow that to, you know, be like a little reset for you. I know it's harder, like I said, in these winter months when it's cold, but I feel so much better anytime I go outside. Like I feel so grounded when I go to the beach. Personally, that's my favorite place to sort of reset myself energetically. And even in the winter now, I will go to the beach in the freezing cold and I will go and I'll sit in the sand because it feels so good and I just allow myself that space to reset. So carve out that time in your day to ground in whatever way resonates with you, whatever climate you're in. Try to see if you can get outside for 10 minutes a day. Just breathe the fresh air, be outside, get the vitamin D. It's only going to do you a world of good. So that would be my other suggestion there. You know, like I said, these are crazy times. I think that it would be kind of foolish to not recognize that these are crazy times, right? And the world is going through, I think, a collective scale of shadow work right now on just a global scale. You know, the veil has been lifted. This stuff has been here all along. This is just my opinion now. I'm gonna get a little woo-woo on you, but this stuff has been here all along. It's just now that the veil is finally being lifted, we're finally seeing the scale of craziness that's been going on, that's been keeping us in this place where we're at right now. And I think a lot of old systems are starting to fall apart, and I think that it's scary what's going on right now to an extent, but I think we should be hopeful for the future, because whenever something falls away, it paves the way for something new to come into play. And you think about it, I think Leora Alexandra had spoken about this in one of her videos, but when a mother is giving birth, the contractions come right before the birth, right? And there's that terrible pain, it's crazy. And then the birth is a beautiful thing, right? A new life enters into the world. So you can think of what's going on right now as that, right? Like we are going through contractions right now on a global scale. Like this is a crazy amount of pressure that I don't think we've seen in quite a while, but I think it's also necessary. I think this is our time now that we're actually going to be able to create a new way for ourselves, a new system, a new, you know, life that we actually want, that actually resonates, that actually works. And I think that this is a time for people to really speak their truth. You know, if you're watching this video right now, you're probably really interested in a lot of the spiritual, esoteric, law of attraction stuff that I speak about. Share your light with the world. I'm here to tell you right now, do not be afraid to raise your voice. Do not be afraid to speak out. I'm here to tell you right now that this is the time now that we collectively are going to raise our vibration. If you saw a few weeks ago, I did a video on the Great Conjunction, and that was on December 21st. And, you know, people were at first were like, oh, well, nothing happened on this day. It's December 21st. Nothing happened. And I think something to keep in mind is with those dates, they're really just a marker of a new era coming in, which is exactly what we're dealing with right now. Look at what's happening and what's going on. Things are happening so fast. Things are falling apart so fast, which means that when things are falling apart at that rate, it means that something else and something new, something better is going to be falling into place. So just please keep that in mind. I don't mean this to be in any way political. I'm literally just speaking from a spiritual standpoint, from an energetic standpoint of the collective right now. Things are falling apart so that we can make a way for what it is that we actually want, what we actually desire, what we really want the world to look like, what we really want, right? And I think that at the end of the day, we're going to remember that we're all one. That is my understanding, that we are all one on this planet, right? Like we are connected to the trees, we're connected to the grass. I'm connected to you, you're connected to me, we are all one. And I think that more and more people are going to slowly start to realize that, and that separation is not the answer, right? Separation has never been the answer, and it's never worked. And I think that this time, this moment of history that we're in, is honestly one of the most exciting times to be alive on this planet, because this is the chance now where we can actually have an impact and actually make a change for the way that we want. But I want to tell you that think about yourself first, right? Like think about where you're putting your energy and where you're investing your vibration and what you're emphasizing. That's where we collectively put our energy. That's what we're going to manifest as a collective. So I call upon you now to reflect on yourself. Maybe incorporate some of these things that I've shared with you today. Do, don't, I don't care, whatever it is, it's up to you. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that tunes in here, and I certainly hope that you all find ways to stay grounded with the craziness that's going on in the world. And remember, do not be afraid. This is a very exciting time to be alive, because we're going to be seeing some major changes coming in the future, and I have very much hope for the future. So again, if you enjoyed this, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button below, and I will see you all next time.